get into the third segment. And on Sunday episodes like these, the third segment is FA WSL results from the match week. It just wraps up the week really nicely because all the FA WSL matches are typically played on Sunday. Some of them are on Saturday. I love it when the matches are spread out through Saturday and Sunday because for fans like us who watch really closely, it gives us more of an opportunity to watch as many games as possible because I only have so many devices that I can really watch games on. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the results. So, the main headline for this particular week is postponements. The reason being is because 4 out of the 6 games for this match week were postponed. I'll read them off to you. Aston Villa Reading was postponed. Arsenal West Ham United was postponed. Going down a little bit further in the list, Bristol City and Chelsea was postponed. Tottenham and Everton was also postponed. So that's 2, 4. There's probably one match I'm missing, but yeah, 4 out of the 6 matches were all postponed. All the articles I was reading this morning said that the postponements were due to severe weather conditions and unsafe pitch conditions. I believe in England they got a ton of snow. I don't know how much exactly, but authorities were saying that they got a ton of snow. They did some pitch inspections at these respective clubs, and they said, okay, these pitches are unsafe to be used for games, so they decided to call them off, which is pretty par for the course for this season. Like I said, with the COVID-19 pandemic, with winter approaching, it seems like a lot of games have been getting postponed, which, it's not a bad thing because it's all in the name of player safety. The main thing is for these players to be comfortable on the pitch that they're using, to be safe on the pitch that they're using. So that's really important. So there's nothing wrong with canceling games if it means keeping the players safe, at least in my opinion. But anyways, guys, so with that, then there were 2 matches that were played today. That is Manchester United and Birmingham City, and Brighton and Manchester City. So the first match of the day was Manchester United 2 beat Birmingham City to Birmingham City's nil. Let me rephrase that to be a little bit more clear. Manchester United won today by a score of 2-0 against Birmingham City. With that win, Manchester United have actually returned to the top of the table. They got all 3 points today, which is exciting. We had 2 goal scorers for the match today, which was Leah Galton and Ella Toon. Leah Galton got an excellent ball from a very creative Lauren James today, who crossed it into the center of the field. And under pressure, Leah Galton went ahead and slotted it home. For those of you who don't know, Leah Galton won the December Player of the Month for the WSL pretty recently, so good on her for keeping her run of form. And fast forward to the 81st minute, Ella Toon had a shot that ricocheted off the post and went into goal. Kirsty Hansen sped up the right wing, went around the left back of Birmingham City, fought to keep the ball alive, got it to Ella Toon, who turned around from a tough angle, did it off the post, and scored, which is absolutely fantastic. And that pretty much sealed Manchester United's win. Moving on to the second match of the day, which was Brighton against Manchester City. And per usual with a lot of these matches, Manchester City was dominant throughout the entire match. Manchester City beat Brighton by a scoreline of 7-1. These were all the goals that happened for City. Caroline Weir actually scored a really early brace in the game. She scored in the 12th minute and the 16th minute. A little bit while later, fast forward a little bit closer to the halftime, Steph Houghton scored in the 41st minute. And then moving on to the second half, Ellen White scores another goal in the 58th minute, as good strikers always do. And then Steph Houghton actually got her brace just 3 minutes later out of the 61st minute. I didn't get a chance to watch that particular goal, but I heard it was a worldie, so check it out if you got some time. And if you're curious as to where you can find that goal, I would recommend going to the FA Player. That's the space FA space player. You can download it on iOS or the Google Play Store. It's an app. But anyways, going a little bit further into the match, Chloe Kelly scores in the 73rd minute, making it 6 goals. And then Janine Becky finishes off the scoring for Manchester City in the 77th minute with another goal. So on the other side of that coin, we've got Everton. Rihanna Jarrett managed to get not Everton. Brighton. Going on the other side of that coin to Brighton. Rihanna Jarrett scored in the 69th minute to give them a 1 goal and to avoid a clean sheet for the day. For this particular match, it's been pretty par for the course for Manchester City to beat teams that are below them in the table. Their goal difference is climbing higher and higher as the days go on. Let me actually double check the WSL table to see what their goal difference is. because it's getting really, really, really high. It's probably in the positive 20s by now. Yep. So with that win today, Manchester City's goal difference is plus 27. Believe it or not, it's still 3 goals behind the league's best. The league's best goal differential is 30, which belongs to Arsenal currently. But with their win today, City have actually jumped into the top 3 in the league with 24 points. They are 2 points behind the next position, which is Chelsea. So big result for them today. And with how close the top of the table has been this season, it wouldn't surprise me if this league really came down to goal difference. Just to give you guys an idea of the top 4 currently, in first we have Manchester United with 29 points, Chelsea with 26 points, and second with 2 games in hand. I'm sorry, 3 games in hand. Manchester City with 24 points, 2 games in hand, and then Arsenal in fourth with 23 points, another 2 games in hand. So between second and fourth right now is only 3 points. So once all these matches get played, I have a feeling the differences between those points is going to get really close, and the margins are going to be thin. So if I am a gambling man, I think City's going to have the best goal difference by the end of the season, and I think it's going to help them get to a Champions League spot. I don't know if City are strong enough to win the title this year, but I think that they for sure deserve to be in the Champions League. The reason I say that, if you'll notice, like I said earlier, it seems like City always have no issues with essentially stomping on teams that are below them in the table. They consistently win against the Bristol Cities, the Brightons, the Aston Villas by a really high goal margin, like 7-0, 8-0, 7-1, 9-0. It's baffling to me because it's like they beat the teams that they should beat, which is great because championship teams always do that. But when they go against the Chelseas of the league, the Man Uniteds, the Arsenals, they tend to struggle a little bit. They tend to not get the results that they need. They just lost to Chelsea. This is in non-league play. This was in the Continental Tires League Cup, but they just lost to Chelsea a couple days ago. They drew to Man United in a game that they dominated all the way up until the second half in, and I don't think the results are necessarily there for them against these bigger clubs in order to really make a convincing stand that they have a shot to win the league this year. That might be a bold statement, but at the end of the day, if you're going to win the league, you got to beat everybody, and you got to beat everybody consistently. And against better sides, they seem really inconsistent in that aspect, which is good for us fans because then it creates a really interesting competitive cycle that we get to look forward to all the time. Not everything's so predictable, which is great, but I can't quite figure out why City are having trouble against these better clubs. Um, with the signing of Abby Dahlkemper, I think it helps a little bit because when they play Chelsea, when they play Arsenal, their back line gets strengthened. It'll give the forwards of those opposing teams problems. So maybe that's the answer. But I guess time will tell as the season goes on. Because on paper, I mean, I think Manchester City are one of the most talented teams in the league, if not the most talented team in the league. 4 world class defenders, some world class strikers and midfielders. Um, in my opinion, they should be getting better results with that squad on paper. But at the end of the day, it might be a harsh criticism, but at the end of the day, chemistry is what it really comes down to. And I think that as time goes on, we'll see if they can all gel. And as always, with all these footballers, I hope they have never-ending success going forward. So, what do you guys think about the results of today's particular match? Do you think it means anything interesting for the league results going forward? Jump down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Or alternatively, if you've got a favorite WSL team that you support, I'd be curious to see what that team is. Feel free to comment that down below as well. All right.